And good evening, Speed Gaming. We are back here with more Link to the Past randomizer action. We have got a straight up open 7-7 race. Four runners up here tonight, so it should be a good one. I am Cool Papa Bell 2282 here to do a little bit of talking over the rando, and alongside me is Scoopula. How are you doing this evening?
Pretty good. I was going to run this, but then I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna just take a break. I mean, and then rando community, I guess this is a break, so we're gonna talk.
Hey, you just get to watch everybody else deal with whatever nonsense Sahabot is throwing at us tonight, right?
Yeah, I was honestly taking a little bit of an open break. I haven't done one in ladder for a while either, so we'll see. We'll see how this goes, and then I guess we'll reassess here in about 2 hours. But it's pretty standard. If you've seen Link to the Past randomizer almost at all here on Speed Gaming, you've probably seen Open 7-7. We need 7 crystals wherever they happen to be, and it could be in the light world, dark world, wherever. You need to do that to get into Ganon's Tower. You need to defeat Agahnim 2 to get Ganon accessible and vulnerable. So that's the goal tonight.
And early map check already. We have the blue pendant over in Eastern, but then blue crystals in Desert and Hera.
It's like everybody's going to Uncle first, finding an ether medallion and some bombs. Now you can get down to escape with this. Oh, we have a sword too? Did I miss that?
Yeah, sword was in Link's house. So.
Oh, in the house. So fast you wouldn't believe it. Well, anyway, I guess that explains the full uncle, because you can just do this right now. Back or the front of escape, and maybe even the back.
Yeah, that's always pretty tempting to me. If you get a weapon this early on, just go ahead straight into escape. But it looks like Diego is going to go ahead to Kakariko first.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's just a lot of stuff over there. Any which way you do this is fine, because even with the bombs, I'd say too, if you end up with a key, you can just wander all the way to the back in the dark, bump into all the walls if you like, but one way or another you can get there and get it done. Not real interesting of a tree pool so far.
Bombs on the bush crab are pretty nice, though.
Oh yeah. Yep, you'll be in good shape for just about whatever you need them for, at least for the next 20 minutes or so. The tree was a red something.
I think that was a boomerang, so...
I'd say it didn't quite look like money, but yeah, nothing we were going to see ever again.
And so far, we're just seeing a whole lot of rupees in the escape sequence.
Yeah, which is good. The sooner you get to 600, the better, in general. You get the bottle vendor paid off for 100 and Zora for 5. Might be a while before we see Zora with no boots and no moon pearl available yet, or flippers, or any of that good stuff, but it's nice to have. Like that blue mail, you don't have to worry about getting knocked down too early too often.
Ooh, there's the payoff. Glove in Zelda's cell.
Yeah, and some people do choose not to go this far back, so we'll see if, like I say, Diego Lazo over there does it. I mean, before too long, he's not going to get real far without that, but we have seen large chunks of Dark World go by without them before too, so...
Yeah, or it might be a situation where Diego winds up clearing the whole light world before finally going to escape, planning on doing Aga afterwards, and then finds the dark world access down there in the cell. So we'll see how that shakes out.
So I totally missed back of escape there, but we do have a moon pearl. Blind's hut here. So that's piece 1 of 3. There's kind of piece 2 of 3 with that master sword if you're looking to do it the long way. That's Aga. We don't like to talk about Aga.
Yeah, not if we can help it.
Say so. The key was in the back, so yeah, those who have the glove and drop down can be able to do Dark Cross from here. There's a 300 and even more little chunks of money and a bottle, so we can do Sick Kid now. Always nice.
And it looks like Koi is thinking about the full CAC skip here. Can go ahead and hit some stuff in South Shore. Of course, looking for something like a flute to maybe activate on the way to Kakariko, or maybe find the rest of the Dark World access before we head over to that part of the world. So,
yeah, we'll see how much this Koi does. I don't necessarily see him going as far as Ice Rod Cave without a Glove or a Moon Pearl to do Zora on the way. No, not on the way, but past that. But we'll see. It's just 5 checks, which so far is 11 arrows, and there's the flippers. Still needs money, but flippers are nice. They can tell you some things. They can tell you, hey, might need to look at east to southeast Hyrule here before too long goes by. Actually, this works out really nice for him because he can do Ice Rod now and don't have to worry about coming back down here to fake Flipper later. You can just enter from the Lake Hylia shop. So that is advantageous.
yeah, without boots, I think it's faster to just save and quit out of Ice Rod Cave and then come back from the house. So that'll route pretty nicely. It's not a big difference if there is any between the two routes. Oh,
That's a nice one. Yeah, that one might take some runners a while.
but that's
And-
exactly the payoff that you're looking for when you do South Shore before Kakariko.
Oh, absolutely, because you can just fly anywhere at this point now, routing heck with that. Not going to turn it on just yet. I'm not sure in what favor of right now, but
Yeah, good point in chat about the glove placement in Hyrule Castle as well. With that key in the back, I think that does mean that the glove in Zelda's cell is, logically speaking, the mitts. Is that right?
I couldn't tell you. I just do the thing.
God, I'm not sure of the intricacies there, because whichever way you use your key, it gets you access to the back of Escape. Either you use the key in Dark Cross or you use the key to get to Zelda's cell, and then you have a glove to get back there. But I'm not sure how closely the logic accounts for that.
So Big Toby minus about 280 rupees is going to go ahead and pick up this bottle, which would be his first to get it turned in on Sick Kid. So he's going to be leaving Zora behind for a check that I guess I don't remember what it was, but I don't think anything that great. And I'm usually too afraid to come in here without the 500, so... Yeah, I mean, keep an eye on the other glove, I guess, and see how soon it shows up. I might be able to see how that affects things with the logic discussion here.
Yeah, we do still have some options for where that glove could be. So like, Saha's Closet, Dip EP, we can get up to Death Mountain and do a little bit up there with the flute, so...
Big Toby's gonna check the island here, just some bombs. Hang a hard to starboard and hopefully not get shot. Okay. Well, at least it got flippers. That Zora right there is the greatest sniper in the history of video games. I'm just saying it now.
It's like someone sucked all of the targeting ability out of every stormtrooper in Star Wars and put it right into that Zora.
Yeah. You like how long that shot's in the air, but it just gets you. Looks like we're seeing a lot of retreads now. We're going to see some flutes getting turned on if we didn't already. I think maybe we did. So everybody else still has to find theirs. Diego does have it. Diego is now serenading the bird.
And it also looks like Big Toby is going to show us the first couple of checks on Death Mountain. This is the old man check will not be in logic without the lamp, but the inside of Spectacle Rock is. Oh, and that hookshot will get us over to Paradox Cave as well.
Yeah, this is not a bad time to dip into the mountain when this much is available early. And, you know, with that glove thing, we might be finding those up there as well, and then we can just do the rest of it. Diego making his way back out of the cave. We just hope and trust that the old man hasn't tripped and fallen silently. He has not. He's usually good about that. Carrying some bombs around. I guess he was going to go mining.
Ooh, so Big Toby finds the lamp up there in Paradox Cave. That will give him some information that there is a flute somewhere available in the world.
Yep, lamp and flute are nice little hands in hands when it comes to the mountain. Because if you find one up top, the other one's not. Of course, in a case like that, if you start using that information right now, see like tonight, and start looking for it down low, you will find it, as it is in Ice Rod Cave and not something like, you know, back of swamp or something.
I gotta say, I believe that's our third sword that we found up there in Paradox Cave, and that lamp as well. This is starting to smell an awful lot like an agate seed.
Yeah, it does seem like whenever, you know, you just need the two swords or a cape, but games like, you know, we want to be sure you get there, so, you know, have some extras. Like Professor Pixie was saying, with a glove technically requiring another glove in the escape, you know, that's another piece of that potential puzzle.
And another nice thing for Koi here, having put off these flipper checks until a little bit later, has 500 rupees. Be able to see what Zora's got for us.
Just a little of... And like everything else, the rates have definitely gone up in recent times. Yeah, we got blue swords, blue flippers, blue mail, blue cane, which I missed somewhere. Sword's been replaced, but still. It's hard to tell what the seed's ultimately going to do with what it's done so far. But if we do have to go to Aga, then, you know, chances go up for the eastern part of the Dark World to have the very next thing.
Yeah, although that hookshot does certainly give us options in the Dark World. Even taking the glove out of logic, we could still get up to where we could hookshot across the river using the flippers, so we would have access to pretty much all of the main part of Dark World after Aga.
Mm-hmm. And it'll be a choice as to whether the runners run right into pod, since it's there when you get dumped out. Again, if we are doing Aga, and with the flute, of course, any choices you make become easier, because whatever you don't do, you can just get back to relatively quickly.
Yeah, I'd be pretty inclined to skip pod at first, since, you know, you want to have the hammer before you head in there anyway, so you really hope to find it over in the western part of the Dark World and then just flute back.
You definitely do, and I am not here to say that I have been traumatized by instances of that not happening. Yeah, bow is very rarely in Eastern, and I would say never, except I was calming a race, and then it was. But that hammer does like to show up in pod. Or it's, you know, sitting on Pyramid Ledge, or who knows. Yeah, Diego has not been down to get a glove yet. This will about 3 minutes go by, he'll have that, and I guess at that point, not just him, but all four of the runners are going to have to really think about what they want to do here.
Yeah, I think we're running out of stuff. We're pretty much down to an eastern dip, or go ahead and accept your fate and head to Aga.
Yeah, I don't know. We've seen Saha yet either, have we? Because then that's up to 6 things.
Koi did Saha's Closet just
Koi.
now and had nothing much.
Yeah, so Koi's got to do the mountain too, but these other runners who have been up here, when they decide to, if they do, to go to Eastern first, and that's usually what we see, they may choose to carry that directly into Eastern, considering the area. Yeah, we do. Yeah, everybody's got their moon pearls, so we just need the one item to avoid having to climb that tower. Diego taking a death. Yeah, I guess there was an item in Dark Cross.
We do also have the mushroom, I guess, right there in Paradox Cave that I don't think we have seen anyone turn in yet.
Oh yeah, that's true. That may just be a quick fake, or well, we're gonna fake flipper. Just out of the house, take the whirlpool and check that real quick.
Ooh, and there we go. Toby is going to be our first runner to head toward Aga Tower.
Yep, and it's always a choice, no matter what the seed is trying to tell you should do, because, if this works out, it's a great play. If not, you're doing this and having to dip Eastern without a bow, so. So I totally forgot about the flute when I was saying about take the whirlpool over, and his flute is making all these little things real nice.
Yeah, and that's something Toby has not found yet, so that might be a bit of an issue. He has been up to Death Mountain to find that lamp, but didn't get back to Ice Rock Cave for the flute.
Yeah, and at least I understand as Diego gets hit with the Phantom Bush there. I love that one. But no boots walking to Ice Rod Cave without a flute, which of course you're not going to have until you go there. But that's a hard sell for me anyway.
And looks like Koi is number 2 on the list.
Yeah, flute was Ice Rod Cave itself. So yeah, Toby, he got everything done except Saha's Closet, and as we know, it's nothing that won't bite him, so he's going to be blazing us here a trail of death and destruction. And in the next few minutes, going to have a look at the other world I have in this game here. You know what, 25 minutes for an Agaseed, it's not bad. I mean, to get to the Dark World. Yeah, go ahead.
I was going to say, also using the hookshot there to show us the very exciting 5 rupee stun prize. Not very helpful on this Aga climb.
Right. Yeah. Knowledge is power, and sometimes that power is a little dim. At any rate, yeah, this glove logic could be. Well, let's put it this way: if I was running, I wouldn't have known anything about it. I'd probably gone to Eastern, but it could be what's feeding into the decision of these runners here.
Yeah, it's always hard because you sort of try and figure out what the seed wants you to do, right? And so the locked glove makes it more likely that the seed wants you to go to Aga, but just because the seed wants you to do it doesn't necessarily mean you have to, and figuring that out is the hard part a lot of the time.
Yeah, it's easy to say that number of checks means odds, but doesn't always.
I swear this happens to me all the time in like cross keys, right? I'll be like, oh man, the seed really wants me to go climb Ganon's tower. I'm gonna go climb Ganon's tower, and then you get like a pod small or something that's logically required but almost useless.
Yeah, I tell you what, I play keys with the sole intention of not doing GT, so that's where stuff ends up being. I will say this, that Diego Laza did find on Desert Ledge a cape, and I will say that if I'm seeing that with everything else we found, I'm going to Ag after this. That's just that one more thing that says, go do the thing.
So Koi making pretty good time on that Aga Tower climb, making good use out of that tempered sword, and just about catching up with Big Toby.
Yep. Let's check that ledge for 10 sticks. Doesn't want him. He's off to the rest of the world. We'll see what part he does first. So Diego has not done the backup escape. I believe there was just one item down here. Yep. So to the house. Okay, well, we got a map check, so we got 5-6 on Pod and Thieves Town. We got the other dead pendant on Ice Palace and Green Pendant Swamp. And we know everybody loves Green Pendant Swamp.
Man, video game is so helpful, right? Let's just give you the flippers right away and then put pendants in both of the flipper dungeons.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. So yeah, Big Toby's choosing to do the north route and forego catfish for the moment. Though, to be honest, I'm not sure you're going to get closer than that unless you come back to do Graveyard Ledge with a mirror later, maybe. So this guy has been burned by catfish too many times at all.
Yeah, I think I'm with you on that one.
I mean, here's an argument we made: if you don't have a mirror, you wait to do it till you have a mirror so you can do Zora, but of course we already did it, so. Koi was doing Bumper Ledge, so was Toby, and I was looking at the wrong ones at the wrong time. I don't think it was anything, was it?
Nope, just rupees.
So, Cape definitely meant, here's your sign. Kill the wizard.
Looks like Koi is a Front of Skull Woods believer.
Yeah, I don't blame him. And I didn't need Dunca's stats to tell me this either. This is for the 2 checks it has and the absolute poor density it has with all the keys and stuff in here. Something that just tends to have a bunch of stuff. So I guess it's got something to do with being first accessible once you get to the Dark World, usually.
Yeah, and there seems to be a weird thing about the way the actual randomizer program works and dungeons with a lot of keys. Just for whatever reason, they wind up with items a little bit more often than you might expect otherwise, I think. Yeah,
that's something I guess I could study, but I just want to play, so. Yeah, I mean, I was told in the past that Hype Cave was called that because it would do the same kind of overload, prior to some balancing changes or something. I'm not exactly sure.
Yeah, there was one particular version of the randomizer that Hype Cave was just absolutely ridiculous, but the name stuck more than the actual item placement, I guess.
Well, it's a funny name because, hype with anything anymore is usually ill-deserved.
Skullwood's not paying off so far. Same with this Eastern Palace dip that Yoinker's wife went ahead and did. Oh, there we go. Yoinker's wife grabbing the hammer from the Eastern Palace big chest.
Yeah, okay. It's had this tendency to look where the audio is, which means I keep looking away. But yeah, that's huge. And yeah, its logic of egg is still, I guess, when you consider the key thing in the castle, but this is going to save her from a climb easily.
Yeah, that's going to feel real good, and that's going to be really hard for the people who've done Aga to get back to, unless they find the mirror before they get over to Pod. They're probably going to... Oh, never mind. There's that mirror.
Mm-hmm.
think they still might end up full clearing pod, but then they'll be able to mirror back to Eastern right then, at least.
Right. Yeah, I mean, but still, between the way you could do these things, you know, Yunker's wife is the one who came out pretty rosy here. Is there an item in that chest? I didn't catch that.
I'm guessing not, because it looks like she's just going to take a death warp and head down to go into pod from there. I think it would make just as much sense to just save and quit and flute to 5, but
yeah, I mean, it's a lot to keep track of. I know. Which is why she forgot about the fairy in the bottle too. But you know, I do that once a week, so it's okay.
oh, she hasn't done Saha yet, so she went into Eastern before she did Saha's closet. That makes more sense.
That's another good reason. I hope she turned the flute on. Would be another thing, but. Okay, yeah, just the same stuff we've seen, but yeah, now it's going to get the flute out, and with a nice healthy total of hearts there, I'd say pod, well, that and a lamp, we're in good shape for that. And she's going to the house. Scanning the tracker. What are we doing?
Did she not do Dark Cross yet, maybe? Oh, I hope she's not forgetting that she has Dark World access.
Yeah. Straight ahead. There we go. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like it better because it's like when you know, hey, you're not going to do Aga, then just get this out of the way before it becomes an issue in about an hour.
Well, Big Toby's showing us our first boss kill of the night. Gets the first crystal out of Thieves Town.
So, tracker's pointing out we got an item in the big chest, and that hammer is on the other side of the world for 3 of these runners here. So, most of the time it's nothing, but you know when it isn't.
Interesting. It looks like Yoinkers is going to head back to Death Mountain. Going to use the hook and hammer together, get to Tower of Hera. It's just about to say that that's open to runners who are finding Mirror as well. That might be another thing that distracts them away from getting their hammer out of Eastern Palace.
Yeah, and Eastern is the one pendant that's in the light world, so if people already generally avoid it, it's gonna take a while. I mean, really.
Yeah, I think the mirror is going to be really important, because without that, it would be a really long time before you get to Eastern. But I think if you go to Pod and aren't sure where to go after that, then you just mirror and dip Eastern right then.
Yeah, makes sense. We'll see what is left to do, I guess, when they choose to do Pod.
Although, man, if they just find mitts in Pod, and all of a sudden they've got all sorts of stuff open to them.
Yeah, those big items have a way of being, nice, but at the same time, depending on when you find it and what you find before and after it, can cause you to spend a lot of time on some junk. And we've seen that quite a lot on these, these simulcasts here, I guess we can call it. How even chests and checks that are on routes that you were going to do anyway, just because there's more of them, and if they work out to be junk, well, you spent the time. Rando be that way.
Yeah, game definitely has a weird way of sometimes you find an item really early and you feel great about it, and then it just completely throws off your routing in sort of weird little butterfly effect ways and completely screws you over.
Yeah, I totally forgot we didn't have a bow yet. So I think maybe that's what Yonker's wife was looking for before going to pod.
But we pulled our mitts out of Hype Cave there for Big Toby.
Alrighty. Yeah, so that's pretty early too. So yeah, that whole thing with the gloves being backwards is really holding some water here today. Pipe Cave, Skull Woods. I guess pod in this case if you have flippers or hammer.
But those mitts are going to open up a lot. We found Bombos in Thieves Town, so Ice Palace is fully available. We can get to the Mire area. We can mirror into Desert. Just all sorts of stuff going on with those mitts.
Toby's over at Ice Rod Cave. Also did not have a flute. Now will. Oh wait, yeah, he's the one that didn't. That's right. So it could have been later. Could have been worse. Not too bad.
We've also got this Blue Cane means Yoinker's wife could do Spike Cave right now if she wants to.
Yeah, and I should have been paying more attention to what went on in there about items just because of the whole basement dynamic. But
yeah, I saw a map, but I guess that was compass upstairs as well, so we've got one item left in the basement.
yeah, she's making this long run up here, so it's like, you know, even if you might be back later with, say, a book or something, you might as well do this and, you know, commit to your play. So I like it. I don't know, Hera Basement seems to have a non-dungeon item more than it should, and when it does, it seems to have an important one more than it should. Taking the Starbucks barista coffee break where you can have your coffee, you just got to make it while you're having it. Just a piece of heart, but peace of mind achieved. I see.
And it's like Yoinker's wife not going for Spike Cave. I don't blame her on that one. Without Mirror to get out of the basement quickly, that's a slow walk to a slow check, so she's got much more exciting plays available to her, like this Hype Cave she's going to do in about 30 seconds.
Yeah, you have the option of taking some towels to the face there as part of your coffee break routine, but there again, it's one check, and there again, the book. You might come up later to do that as well, so. Ether tablet, I mean. Getting her a good long map reading. And I count them in order. I don't do it right. I take forever. But it's like 4 special prizes in Dark World here today, so.
See, my specialty is looking at them very quickly and then forgetting what they are, so I have to look at them twice more.
Mm-hmm. But your 3 checks are still faster than my 1, though. So. So it's Bombos to open Turtle Rock once we get a cane. Well, everything. Cane, hammer, both rods. But the door key's in hand, at least.
Yeah, I'm not super surprised to see Big Toby and Koi just doing the overworld checks that the myths open up. Neither one of them really has a completable dungeon that they can get to without that hammer, especially without the cane for Meyer. So, you know, some nice overworld checks here with the stuff up on Dark Death Mountain and Meyer Shed, but not really paying off just yet.
Yeah, it looks like a great play, and it is a great play. Whenever you're this early, you need a bunch of stuff, and you can say with real confidence that, you know, these routes are going to have stuff. But unfortunately, the longer it goes, where that proves untrue, then sweater you start to get. Because, like I see in this hookshot cave and everything, like I would do this every time, but it's just some bits and bobbles here. So Toby just about had a chat with the beach ball. Haven't seen one of them in a while. Blind being kind of bad, going sitting in a corner. Digger's got to be careful. Just whips out the blue cane. Very smart. Gets it done. Crystal number 1 in hand for Diego Lazo. I don't think there was much else in this dungeon, was there? I know Koi and Big Toby already did it, but I don't remember seeing anything.
I think just the Bombos was the only interesting thing in there.
Alright, well, we know we need that, so here's Junker's wife. Already up and doing hammer pegs. So just walked up, I guess. So did Stumpy and Dig game, and now Junker's wife is going to kill everything.
Yeah, a little unlucky for her that she walked past Cave 45 before she found that mirror, but you know, she might go back and clean up Smith Chain after this, after getting the mirror out of chess game, so we'll see what she decides to do.
So yeah, I guess Dig was just a piece of heart. So whether you do it or not, you're alright. So the ever-attentive chat pointing out, I guess somebody saw Meyer with the glove and flute. I missed that entirely. It looks like we need Quake for that, which is something that is still at large. And Diego coming down this way. Gonna give a Titan's Mitt in about a minute, and may well just continue on to things like Pod, and well, that's about it, I guess, at this direction.
Yeah, it's definitely a big decision point right here, right? I mean, you could see just going ahead to Pod from here. Big Toby and Koi both decided to go ahead and check out like Meyer Shed and Dark Death Mountain. So yeah, definitely some options available at this point.
Yeah, I mean, how accessible is Swamp? Actually, very, except for, well, everybody but Junker's wife. I just, you think about pendants and stuff, and I don't know, I'd like the idea of getting into Pod since it is not a pendant and clearing it out. Especially since, without a bow, you can still do things like Mimic Clip or Potion Camera Unlock and get everything up top.
Yeah, it feels like all the runners are just like sort of committing themselves to not enter a dungeon where they can't kill the boss. So
yeah, it's really hard, especially when you don't have hammer. It just happens to be in that direction, and we'll keep coming back to this until somebody actually goes to Eastern.
Koi and Big Toby are just in lockstep here, both getting the bad news about Harrow Basement at the same time.
Refresh me on the mirror, since that's, I guess, our difference right now. When Yoinker's wife has something that everybody else doesn't, and they have a mirror. Oh, she did hit the mirror now.
Yeah, mirror was a chess game, so.
Oh, all right. So yeah, Yoinker's wife is, at this point, doing a minor cleanup, and is otherwise in pretty good looking shape, I'd say.
Yeah, because all those dungeons that other people don't really want to dip, I mean, she can complete if she wants to. Unfortunately, that's, Ice and Swamp that she can finish with that hammer. But it is more attractive. I mean, Green Pendant Swamp has a lot of items, so.
Yeah. Especially with these overworld routes not paying off, like, there is just buying the numbers gotta be something in one of those, if not both, I think.
Yeah, I mean, Yorker's wife is going to get one extra check here with the Thieves Town Big Chest. Gosh, Powder in Graveyard Ledge. Everybody loves a fetch quest.
Yeah, it's one more, and which most of them have already done. I have no walk back to that. Well, I guess it's not bad if you were to flute.
Yeah, and with Mirror and Mitts, Koi might be thinking about just doing the whole Smith chain and looping in the Magic Bat with that.
Yeah, I was thinking that we wouldn't see it until we see the whole thing. Book's the only thing that we really want on the wish list to 100% that one, but Koi dipped. I thought maybe was going to miss on Catfish as well, but we are going to see that from him now, and this could be a thing. And yeah, if it's not, I think we're going to Pendant Dungeons. I am so angry, I hit you in the head with a heart. Koi says ouch and moves on. Big Toby doing checkerboard, I did not see it, and I don't think it's anything much.
Erica's wife also showing off some nice bullet hell skills there, dodging the fireballs in the blind fight. Collects her second crystal.
Legend of Tohu, or however you say it. Link to the shmup. Getting a look in the desert, and I didn't see the torch either. So I'm like, Internet Explorering it over here. But I guess that's a boots lock. It had been a small key or something. Yep, okay. So then here comes that Smith chain from Koi. He's already halfway done with that as well. Pro comms, you know?
Yeah, Magic Bat's going to be a Koi exclusive at this point in the race.
Everybody turn in their mushroom. Well, I guess they don't have a cane yet, so you're right. Now, does he just go and immediately, or, you know, I don't know if Koi does that. I think a lot of runners would, though. I think maybe Koi's doing that, especially since he's carrying that purple chest, which is easy. Oh man.
Yeah, I don't know if it's... I have no idea if it's faster to walk from Magic Bat or just save and quit back there.
You know, it probably is the time. If I had to guess, and I don't, but that's what I'm here for. Maybe the time from saving and quitting to think about it, and then he's like, let's just do it.
Yeah, definitely always possible.
Well, that was fun. Koi slashing the tree. I will mention if Koi used Quick Swap, Koi would probably drop bombs like the rest of us, but it takes too long. Hey, look!
Just get some simultaneous garbage out of Gary's lunchbox.
So that wasn't cool. So there goes Koi to Pen and Ice. So that's the first of these two lovely dungeons we're going to see first. First. If I said first.
Yeah, he's guaranteed to get at least 2 items out of here. Can clear everything but the boss.
Oh yeah, no hammer, that's right. Potential one item being on that chest that has a switch on it right underneath the big key chest.
Oh, that's true. That one's definitely hammer-locked as well.
Yeah, we might luck out and it just doesn't have anything in it. We'll see. We'll just start counting. Somebody will. I know we saw a bumper ledge from somebody as Yoinker's wife picks up that cape, but that was pretty sure nothing as well. Yeah, Red Cane is unknown to the stream. As our boots, both rods, the bow, required quake at 50 minutes. So yeah, it's a pretty quick Aga resolution, but since then it's been a whole lot of bindle filler. I think each runner in the race at this point is figuring that they have to make a play that somebody else isn't making. So yeah, we're gonna see Swamp from Big Toby now.
Yeah, definitely getting down to the checks that these runners don't want to make.
Yeah, I think, like I said, no matter what you choose, you're gonna find something. I really would have to say at this point. I mean, there's runners that maybe don't know about the mountain, like Yoinker's wife is one of, and is going to apparently do right now, and this makes perfect sense. These are dense and fast, and yeah, but they get to sit up above in the little booth here and pass judgment.
Yeah, it's a lot easier when we just know where the hammer is.
Yeah, it's one thing she does have. I'm not really sure what the next thing she'd like to find is. I'm sure Cane wouldn't hurt. Koi, without a big key, you have to come back or leave it. And true to form, I have, in fact, lost count.
I think we've seen just the one item in ice so far.
Yeah, Diego up above him is going to get his hammer pretty darn soon, so that'll be nice. And then maybe we'll see pot out of him. It's another thing we haven't seen yet. So, yeah, I forgot Toby didn't have the hammer. He goes in the swamp to check the one chest. And I mean, there again, when you don't know where it is, if it's in there.
Yeah, and this is the thing about Eastern, right? Is like when it's the answer, right? It just becomes such an isolated check for the most part, right? Like I think Toby is thinking about I can sort of do swamp and ice together. They're kind of on the same path, and that just means Eastern is going to be the last pendant that he dips.
Yeah, and we'll have to see too. I mean, I know there's 2 bows and either one of them count. One of them may not be accessible. That always kind of throws off my little analysis here, but you know, that bow could be hammer locked. So might have had to have come in here without a bow no matter what.
And yeah, it looks like Koi is going to head to Pod now.
Yep, I'm gonna run all through that and then, you know, eat my shoe if he does not do Eastern to get the hammer right after that, and then promptly. Well, actually, no. I guess at that point there's nothing else you can do in Pod, but bow could be in here. If that's the case, he'll come back, finish it, and then he'll be in pretty good shape.
Yeah, there's a pretty decent chance that he will find that bow in Pod, so then he wouldn't be as unhappy to find the hammer in Eastern.
I was hoping we might get to see Swamp out of Junker's wife there with that hammer and hookshot and all that, but looks like Spike Cave. Just get it done. Yeah, Diego opting to take the hammer elsewhere to things that are, you know, in the path of required items like Thieves Town and things like that. It's a little easier of a decision to make when you have a flute, I guess.
And that was so unlucky for Yoinker's wife. She got bitten by the delay that when you activate the cape, it doesn't. You can't turn it on right away.
Yeah, there's been a number of times I sit there mashing the crap out of the Y button and come on. See, and I tell you what, you play this game earlier in life and it's like, well, you have a cane and a cape. They basically do the same thing. What do we need 2 of these for? We only have 15 item slots. And then you play rando and you got a debate between the lag of turning the cape on, the lag of the blue stick. You know, now we got choices for real.
And then you start playing glitched modes, and you're like, why do we have any items besides Samaria and bottles?
Yeah. I've heard the bottle stories. Yep. Bottom row items. We're still looking for some of them, but we have glitch jars, glitch stick, lag stick, poof road.
And we have some bow-locked boots now in Koi's inventory.
Yeah, you're going to find something out of logic. Boots are one of those things you want it to be. I don't know if he figures how many people would have gotten them first with Pod being on a table when it was, but at least here on our stream, that would be cool.
Yeah, it's definitely something he's worried about at this point, right? Figuring that it's an Aga seed as far as he knows, and thinking there's a good chance that other people would have just gone straight to Pod out of Aga.
Yeah, that's why I mentioned it, because I know I'm thinking the same thing. It's like, when it's an hour, you get stuff like this, whether it's flute or boots or whatever, and you look at a clock like, well, Then you gotta start thinking about skips. Well, okay, red cane. That's out of the way. So Crystal Pod having some stuff here tonight. We're still missing 2 rods, so those pendant dungeons are very much on the table.
Yeah, I mean, that cane does open up one check that Koi can do in Ice Palace, but that is definitely not in Logic. And we still can't get into Mire without Quake, and Koi can't get into Turtle Rock without that hammer. Ooh, Fire Rod, though.
Yeah, see, and that's another thing. I say stuff like this. I'm like, well, we found a bunch in Pod. We're done. And then here comes another one. So that's 3 required items, right? We do need the boots. Yeah, and a cane and... at least 3.
And Koi's gonna flute away.
Oh, man.
I do not blame him for that one. With the Fire Rod being, I believe, fully in Logic. Although maybe not, because there was a key on the right-hand side, so I think that Fire Rod is bow-locked.
Ooh,
logically.
good point. Yeah, he might just want to get this stuff done at this point. Since he's still missing a handful of things. Like, you know, this is early logical too, so maybe as far as he knows, the hammer's just sitting here. I mean... a lot of us really just don't like walking through Eastern. I mean, when it's a pendant, you really want to start thinking about it when you know that, you know, you don't necessarily have to finish it. Like, was it Crystal and you still don't have a bow at this point? I don't know. I'd still probably be putting it off as well, but...
Because you gotta pick up that skull off the...
It's just making a cubicle.
You know what? Sometimes you just want to hide away from the Gibdos in your own little world.
Think about the stress Link or his facsimile must be under.
Right, you just wake up in the middle of the night, then your uncle dies, and you gotta save the world in the next hour and a half. I mean, it's a rough day.
It's not even a standard start. We didn't even have to go past your uncle, but we did. The Mall Hammer is actually an Eastern Palace, so that's the thing we've been waiting to see whenever pretty much anybody but Yonker's wife is going to go and get it. Well, Diego got it now, too. Forgot about that.
I will say, if we want to talk worst case scenario, that Cane and Fire Rod do open up some checks in Turtle Rock. You can go a ways in there now. Well, I guess pretty much everything except beat Trinex.
Yeah, yeah, there's a handful you can do without a hammer. There's a handful you can as well, so I guess that's like, I guess that's the other side of things I'm trying to think of, is it's a hammer, it's a big thing, so by the time you have nothing left, at least you haven't full cleared the game.
Yeah, so I guess at least Koi and Toby aren't in any danger of going to Turtle Rock without a hammer unless they know some tricks that I don't know.
Yeah, there's probably some tricks we know, just a matter of pleasing the gods of Rando.
Oh yeah, I know some illegal tricks to get in there, but no rando legal ones.
Yeah, an easy one involves the mirror and the ledge up by those bonk rocks with the fairy in it, but we don't do it because the doors don't open when you try to get out of them, and you just get stuck, and it's just a mess. So put it in the major glitch side of things. I mean, it'd be tempting if we could, especially since we need a Quake 2 and we don't have that. Oh, that's for the other dungeon, but still.
Diego also taking that fire rod straight to Skull Woods. Gonna get another crystal, but as we saw from Koi, nothing actually all that useful in there.
Big Toby now gonna get around to the smith chain here, which is of course going to be truncated, minus a hammer. Which actually is going to work out for him. Unless he really wants bombs. Yoinker's wife is just really doesn't want to do these pendant dungeons. So, I mean, I hate to say it, but any advantage is kind of evaporating now just because, like, you know, everybody else did Aga too, and here's Pyramid Ledge coming up, which is, you know, the only thing she has to come do from the bottom.
Yeah, it's just starting to seem more and more like Swamp is going to be the answer, and Yoinker's wife is just putting that off for a long time.
Yes, we have Diego, you know, finishing Skull Woods from that fire rod. Koi done it already, and I didn't see anything in there either, so. Yeah, there's always choices to be made for sure. It's like, you know, in her mind, it could be, well, you know, maybe we're supposed to do this Aga related stuff because Aga was required, or, you know, but like, the longer you go without finding stuff, the crazier stuff you'll do, and you just kind of start getting shaky. Any runner will, any runner will tell you that.
I don't know about you, but when I route, there's also an aspect of what's going to make me feel the most bad. So, like, you know, if I committed, I'm going to do overworld checks, and then I leave behind one overworld check, and then that's where the item was. I'm never going to forgive myself.
Mm-hmm.
So I can sort of see how Yoinker's wife is like, okay, I'm going to do all the overworld checks I can, and then do the dungeons, and you sort of commit to that play, and just not working out this time, unfortunately.
Yeah, reminds me of whenever I took one bomb down there to Johnny 2 bombs not too long ago, and had a hook shot and what would have been otherwise a hover seed. Actually did go back for it though. Left the fire rod nice palace ones too. Actually went back for that before last location. So. I do see where you're coming from.
Like you said before, rando do be gonna rando, so.
Johnny 2 bombs in my. I didn't come up with that. Everybody. I thought that was just a thing.
And Koi went ahead and finished off Desert there. Got absolutely nothing but the crystal, and now is headed back to Eastern Palace.
Yeah, there'll be a. Yeah, I guess I don't want to speak too soon, but I would have said happy Koi. I don't know, though. I mean, it'll probably be one of those things they'll say, you know, who the heck is going to do this? Big Toby. Wasn't he one of those ones that already went into pod? Or I just. I don't know, he's got the monkey, so I guess not. Let's see if he mirrors do the Eastern first. Probably not.
Yeah, I think it always makes sense to do pod first, just because mirroring back to the front of pod and re-dipping it is not really a penalty because you're probably going to do that anyway, so you normally will do pod before Eastern.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Sometimes in my mind, I don't know, I'm sure it makes no sense, but I just like don't like the whole front thing where it's just all a bunch of keys and maybe a map. You know, instant gratification. You go to Eastern, here's an item, here's an item. Might be a heart piece and arrows, but it's an item. But as I say it, well, Big Toby doing it as foretold, and he'll be all the happier for it, except still no bow, but then again, nobody has one of those.
I guess also in this case, there's an argument that since Eastern is a pendant, you don't want to finish that anyway, so you just clear as much as you can and then go see what's in pod.
Yeah, I was kind of thinking a step ahead actually on that one. I mentioned that before about Eastern Pendant, but I was like, well, okay, we can just take the residual portal back and do pod with our bow that we don't have. But I think we determined about an hour ago there's an item on Armos as well, which is at this point just very rude, if true. Ice Rod?
That would be extremely rude.
Yeah. So we're going to see some TR from Diego Lazo.
Yeah, interesting. And Swamp from Koi, as it looks like Yorker's wife did not do the bow-locked side of pods, so still only one set of boots in this race.
So here again, two big dungeons. One were, quote unquote required, one not. And I feel equal chance of having what we need.
But man, if you want to talk about delayed gratification, TR is the absolute worst.
Yeah, I mean, I've had bows in here quite a bit. I'm sure Diego's been around on race time quite a bit as well, and I'm sure I've seen similar. There's no ice. We don't have an ice rod here, which locks us out of potentially one thing. But when we're missing more than that one thing, it's not a bad dip. It's a few minutes, but. And of course, he's looking for boots too, because I'm pretty sure he knows about desert.
Nicely timed uses of the cape there to walk through those spike rollers.
Stay away from the angries.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah, see now, half the runners you'll talk to will get on out of here. The other half, well, see, he's thinking. I was going to say, maybe while you've made this trip up here, grab a few more. I can get behind this.
Yeah, I think since he's already done most of pod, he's not really expecting to find any items there, so I can definitely understand staying in TR at this point. Now, of course, we know the boots are in those 2 checks that he skipped before, but...
Yeah, and the ice rod, that's why I'm sure the thinking was like, well, all this stuff goes through. The number of items to go mode, the number of items left in here, the number of items before laser bridge. Because, if you're doing that, then there's no thinking at all. But Compass and lava room doesn't feel good. And I'd probably do big chest and mimic and call it a day, but I don't know. I really don't know. I don't know where I would stop. Big Toby and try and get mimics out of the room here. Does so successfully with the only one that matters.
Yeah, you know, I've never seen anyone save a portal on the spiral cave ledge. I don't think it really makes sense to do it here because Diego's going to have to mirror into Desert Palace probably and lose that portal regardless, but it's a move I've never thought about. I wonder if there's ever a time when that makes sense.
Yeah, anytime I try to save portal, I usually lose it doing something anyway, so... And it's like whenever you get this far, you know, maybe you do the Crystal World room chest. If you do that, well, you know, Laser Bridge with its 4 chests, that is one more item. Or 2 more runes, I should say. Oh, see.
There we go.
So, Vindication. Justification words. Yeah. Now does he leave?
Oh, well, now you definitely finish, right?
Oh yeah, it is everything for him. Yeah, okay. Never mind.
Especially now I think we've seen the map and the compass, so Laser Bridge is a whole bunch of items.
Yeah, that's going to feel really good. I mean, nobody likes making that second trip up just for GT, but knowing what's in here now, I mean, he's looking real good at this point.
Yeah, we are Quake from No Mode, I believe.
Hit me with the boots again, because I know he still needs those.
Bow-locked pods, so...
Alright. Yeah, so you won't have to go looking for him. That's good as well. Quake is going to be a pretty big question mark. I think we've seen Mire Shed. Yeah.
Yeah, we've seen pretty much the whole overworld, I think, short of the tablets. Oh, there it is.
Oh, man.
Jeez, that is a loaded turtle rock.
I mean, on top of pod, too, so guess what, rando fans? It's no mode for us, and we didn't need Pendant, Swamp, or Ice Palace.
That figures. We spent all that time, or at least I did, spend all that time saying, somebody should go to Swamp. Why aren't you going to Swamp? And then Swamp has absolutely nothing.
Yeah. It makes perfect sense, but here we are in rando. That was a Quake Pixie. So yeah, Diego is boots minus for go. Yeah. Taking a shot to the face here, but has a safety save and a fairy and anything else. He just wants to finish this room for boots here. Getting silvers. I mean, at this point, he doesn't care how many times he's fallen. I mean, heck with the blue cane and the cape, I guess, but I hope he's got another something in that bottle.
Well, he does have powder, so he could just hit this fairy here if he wants to. Nope. Just gonna go for it.
Yeah. After that, I really would hate to see this, turn into a loss of time and whatnot for him. Yeah, here comes the powder if he can hit it. Watch his pokies with the sword. I'm nervous. Red mail, he's probably okay, but I think contact with the pokey still does you in.
And we saw in the pause there, he does have a red potion for this Trinex fight if he needs it, so...
Alright. So yeah, anyway, yeah, Koya's finishing swamping, as we know. I mean, I didn't see what it was, but we know it wasn't anything, so he's got to wonder what he's going to do next. It's like the rest of ice with that hammer, and again, this is a play you're going to do 9 out of 10 in rando. At an hour 20, especially with, you know, hammer stuff still remaining in here, so I couldn't tell you when I've seen a 3 required item pod and a 3 required item turtle rock, or any 2 dungeons for that matter.
Good news for Yoinker's wife is she's continuing to ignore my swamp advice, and she's in Turtle Rock, so she is going to hit her go mode in the next couple of minutes. I guess technically not quite without the boots, but...
Yeah, but that bow will send her and Diego right back to it, as we know, so... Yeah, and there goes Diego. Yeah, I was going to say, this seed brought to you by Drosy 1. But I feel bad for both of them after this, because they're never going to do pendant flippers again. And the number of seeds that come up where that happens, you know.
Yeah, I guess this is where the glove logic might come into play. That means... oh wait, no, with the hammer, never mind. There was no Aga logic to think about. Never mind.
It's okay. I don't know. I simple man. I see chest. I push A.
I was thinking flippers were supposed to get us around to West Dark World to... Oh, I guess, yeah, no, okay, no, wait. No, logically, Aga was required.
Yeah.
So yes, flippers were supposed to get us around to West Dark World to Hype Cave to get the first glove, to get the second glove out of the sewers, logically speaking. So maybe that could convince you to not chase the flippers too hard after that. Who knows? I never think that hard while I'm racing either.
Yeah, I think I was kind of getting into that train. Promptly jumped right off it whenever I was trying to think about, you know, the gloves being backwards, etc., etc. But if I wasn't here, I would have never known about the glove thing, honestly. So pretty sure, you know, earlier in my running, I would have done exactly what they're doing and going to these required dungeons. And these days, I would have definitely done swamp. So I actually didn't see if any of them that finished swamp did the green pennant turn in, but you know, we know it's not easy either. So yeah, that is boots. In go mode for Diego Lazo R4 at 122, 45, which is kind of hefty, but I say with how we know this seed shook out, it's a pretty good time for that. Yeah, I like to see go by 110, but yeah, Koi and Big Toby have yet to see any of that, and Koi is, let's say, going to do TR, but not this way. So Spike Cave first. This is one of these where, you know, you got to do it all by itself, and if it does have an ice rod or something, it's, you know, you do TR first. You're not liking it, but
Yeah, Koi's just doing absolutely everything before TR.
it's a nice speed setup to walk out of there. I guess maybe a little faster to do it this way.
Yeah, especially since with Aga 1 down, right, you don't really want to save and quit out of there, because then you got to mirror off the pyramid and save and quit again. And
yeah, it's true. That probably makes a difference right there. never thought about using the stairs either, so that's a new one for me. So yeah, I guess this, yeah, what chat's talking about now is another thing. With the hook being on the camping friend, there's a good chance, you know, we got 4 runners here and they all have the hook shot and they got it pretty early. We have 9 total in the race. There's a good chance that some people didn't get that thing. I mean, I don't know how good a one, since I guess I'm sure there's still a lot of people checking Swamp and things like that, but...
Yeah, I was thinking also, you know, we talked about coming out of the Aga, what your choices are, and if someone had gone to Pod right away, right, gotten their cane and their fire rod, then all of a sudden when they do mitts, right, they could potentially dip Turtle Rock their first trip up to Dark Death Mountain, right, and that would get them through the seed a whole lot faster. But again, that's one of those, people call it God routing, but sometimes it's just everything lines up exactly right for the way you chose to go through things.
So Diego's taking his go mode into Mire here. He's just got to find that big key and get through it. Diego finished TR, yes?
Yes, believe so.
Yeah, so then that's just this and Desert, which of course are nice to group together, as we all know, and that's it. See, and that's another thing. We know this doesn't give an advantage, since, you know, the people in TR are going to realize that they can finish TR by being in TR, but it just feels good when you realize you don't have to come back.
Yeah, when you come in without Ice Rod, it's just like that's what you want to find more than anything, just because running back through TR is always a feels bad, man. And then when the game's like, let me give you your entire go mode and silvers.
And so there's a big key on the bridge chest, which is something I check first, even in go mode, so that works out. Looks like he's got a... Yeah, I don't know, he was already here, I guess. So, yeah, he's got enough keys, he's good.
Meyer making the seed even more fun for the hoverers.
You know, I would have wanted to be able to do more than anything. It would have been so nice if you could have hook shot the Samaria block. But then I don't know if you could land, if you could kick one over there and not have it fall off. Huh. Yeah, let me just keep thinking about stuff that won't be a thing.
Oh, we could always ROM hack that one in somewhere. Yeah, I feel like you could break a lot of rooms in this game with that.
Yeah, like Samaria isn't glitchy sticky enough, isn't it? But either which way, Diego is already, I say, pretty quick through Mire. He's just got to put some silver into some eyeballs. Just like anybody's eye doctor does, really, and be out of here and on the desert. So I think it's a silver thing they put in your eyes when you're born. I wonder whose eyes those were.
I just wonder who at Nintendo has a weird thing about eyeballs, because
Yeah,
it's somebody.
yeah. I wonder if that's ever been asked. Maybe it has. Probably trace it back to like one one QA guy or something. I don't know.
I think there was a story that like what is the eggplant wizards in Kid Icarus were just because like one guy's girlfriend really liked eggplants, so he just put them in the game or something weird like that.
Yeah, I did. It's one. Yeah, we've been asking that one for a while. I mean, there was a lot of weird stuff in that era, but I'm not sure I ever heard the answer to that one. So that's pretty good. So there's Big Toby getting Desert done right before Diego does for, well, Diego's 7th crystal, and Big Toby's still got Pod and TR to do still, but unfortunately he's going to have to do those backwards. Yeah, I mean, I know this seed would have gotten me badly, because there was a point in this stream I was like, I'm glad I'm here.
Definitely, I would have been in Swamp way before TR.
Like even I knew I've seen enough bows in TR, like I mentioned before, but it's just looking at what was available when, it's like, yeah, that hammer didn't help matters either. Big Toby trying to get into King's Tomb does. I don't know if you've seen this, but it's, yeah. Well, okay. It's a unique. The only thing we haven't seen is a blue boomerang. Maybe? And a book.
And Koi has also officially hit go mode with those boots, and there's Yoinker's wife hitting it as well.
Yeah, see, like this, I don't know, I'd probably still be happy with no dot duns coming in. And Diego Lasso here has started us on a little game we like to play with that crystal acquisition. I'll let you do it if you want.
Sure. We got 22 locations in the Ganon's Tower basement where that GT Big Key might be. So if you would care to guess where that's going to show up, just put a number from 1 to 22 in chat. We will count those checks that Diego does as the first one into GT.
Yeah, I want to mention, I was saying about boomerangs too. Toby must not check to Agatree. I don't know why I call it Agatree, but I always do. Well, actually, I do know why. I don't know why I tell the rest of you that. Anyway, he gets that red boomerang, which, you know, but I guess it was a blind check, and it's not. Doesn't make you happy. Still looking for Quake and Ice Rod. It looks like he's headed to Swamp here to do it. Yeah, so. Again, you know, in any race that you'll ever run in this randomizer, anybody who has or is wanting to, this is a play you're going to make. Just is.
Yeah, absolutely can't blame anybody for preferring Swamp to committing to an extra mountain climb. But just TR so ridiculously loaded right now.
Yeah, I mean, you can, and I know I would have too, say that you know something's going to be in TR, because it has to be. You know there's something going to be in there, but I don't think you would ever say 3 required items. But guesses are now closed for whatever that means. Diego is going to crack the seal on this pig tower, get on in, and start hunting for a big key.
Yeah, and the other thing about Swamp is, right, with the two progressive bows, right, as much of the game as these runners have cleared, like the odds of at least one of the bows being in Swamp are so high. And if you find that, right, then you can clear Pod and, maybe you don't have to go up to TR until you're in go mode at that point. So,
Yeah, and I guess, for some reason you decide not to open the Chain Chomp room, you could still say that TR actually has 4 required items. Pick one. Both bows in there. It's something else. I forgot about that. That's worse. That's way worse. What did you? Oh no, they all got the question chat here. They all got the hammer pegs one. See, I don't know which one he didn't get. But.
yeah, I think Corey is missing the hammer pegs one because he did most of Smith Chain
He did
before
it
the hammer. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So I knew he was on a Smith Chain, so I was like, he must go. But yeah, no, you're right. There's a big key, number 6. Who do we got? Andrew Ratchet. With a second guess as well. Nice job.
Andrew Racho, the official winner of some meaningless internet points.
Yeah, I mean, you know what? It's like things you come up with in rando that you know you shouldn't. It still just feels good. I think I've maybe won one of those. And of course, if you guess 22 and you win that, you're an early winner then either, especially if you're on comms. Yeah, I think whenever it's not, 12 o'clock, we can get some people in here with the point buttons, and then it's a little extra fun. But we do what we can. Diego opting to use iframes to clear this bridge. It's not a bad strategy, honestly. I mean, you can item dash with the cane's a little laggy. The cape's not bad, but it's got a magic problem right now. I hope that doesn't cause too many issues up here, because outside of that red potion, I'm not sure what else he has. Also not sure if any of these enemies here have magic in their pools.
Yeah, picks up the small magic from that skull there. I think if he uses the silvers on Landmo, he should be okay with drops and stuff out of pots, even if he has to wind up using lamp to do everything up here.
There's a fun little trick that I don't believe he can do, and you can do it in Torches 1 with the Samaria and refill your magic a little. I think you need a boomerang, maybe?
Yeah, I forget how that one works.
Yeah, like I've never seen it done on stream. I'm the only one I know who's done it. Probably because I'm the only one I know who blows all their magic. There you go, Wizrobes. So he probably knew that maybe from Misery Mire, and I would have, but I wasn't paying attention at that point. You could just dump these ones into a bottle. Yeah, just grab it. You can't do that. All right.
That would make a lot of sense. I mean, it's just a potion, right? So you can put that in a bottle.
Yeah, so you could hold it in your mouth too, but I mean, you have a whole bottle, and you've seen the size of these bottles, right? Where's the bathrooms in Hyrule? I say if the bot's gonna break, which unfortunately has a lot recently, but that's a good runner to follow right now, as he is currently in the lead. with some pretty darn spicy plays. Just got to finish GT Aga 2 and Ganon. Put in his done.
But definitely got to be feeling good with the equipment that we've got here and that red potion in hand, so...
Yeah, see, so now that's not going to hurt him, just hopefully limit it. It's because, you know, another thing is, if you're not used to not seeing dones at this point, then heck knows I'm not. You might get a little shaky with stuff like that, so let's hope we can wrap this up. The only thing I know about Moldworm is that he's got a maximum distance he can travel in a straight line. So if you keep retreating, he's got to turn.
And that was nice from Diego there, just backed up just enough to be able to get that dash off to get the last hit in.
So yeah, we got all the links in there. Thanks, Jaxie. Yeah, give these runners a follow because we've just about seen it all today. I'm gonna tell you. I mean, it's a good show when these runners get on here. So, like we say, there is more where that came from.
Also a good moment to shout out our trackers for this race, Akahnim and Professor Pixie. So thank you very much for keeping everything straight for us.
Yeah, and even with 2 trackers, I'm going to tell you what, it can be a little busy with 4 people on stream because sometimes you watch other streams just so you can have information, you know, in case you miss something later. And, you know, maybe that's counterproductive. Maybe I'm the only one who does that, but whatever the case, it's a busy time on here and I appreciate their services. Like he said. Aga 2 down. It's big time. And with butter, silvers, and everything else, just have to take a disaster to keep Diego Lazo from winning this race. I can get away with that. I mean, honestly, look at all the stuff he's got. Usually I say they're like, what'd you do that for? Yeah, phase 3, Misty Blanket. Misty Blanket. What time is it? I heard me.
You know, words are hard sometimes.
Yeah. I could have just not said anything and be like, yeah, I heard me. That's what I meant to say. That's what I should have done. Put on the David Caruso glasses and call it good. Yeah, we normally have the runners shut off the little notices on the stream. There's a handful of steps, and runners have like 7 minutes to get it all done. So whoever was followed him was probably from the stream, so thank you. I'm sure Big Toby thanks you as well. A couple more arrows here for Diego Lazo. And is that it? Yep. 10 seconds. Gives you time to look right there in the middle of your keyboard. There's this letter, kind of round. It says G here in the English language. Push that a few times, followed by enter for Diego Lazo R4. He's going to finish first on the restream. And get this, overall. With everybody in this field with a 143.19 Gs. Yeah, I know what I'm asking. If he's able to come in, be with us shortly. I'd buy that for a rupee.
And Koi is apparently a rando rush sort of GT router.
Yeah, I mean, you can do those rooms on the left quick. It's a lot of good checks quick, but it didn't pan out, so he's done off to the right.
I mean, for all that we talk about GT routing choices, it just feels like a coin flip most of the time anyway, so.
All right, so guess what? We have our winner for today, Diego Lazo R4 with us. GG's.
Hello.
So, go ahead. Go ahead.
That's a big surprise for me. I mean, I'm not good in the game, and I was like 2 worst races I have it in a lot of time. Sorry, my English is not fluent.
That's okay.
But tonight I have a lot of luck with the location of the items. The hammers was very troll. The bows too, the 2 bows, and the ice rod.
Yeah,
It was a what is the word? It was a risky road.
risk reward, absolutely. Yeah, like you said, not 1 bow in TR, which is a bad place for 1 bow, but 2. And the ice rod that you need for that dungeon. The hammer in Eastern, it was... you weren't the only one to make that play either. It's just not... It's... Well, I think honestly you said it best. Risk versus reward, and it paid off for you. Yoinker's wife also did it. And it's just getting through GT now.
Yeah, I think the real big difference in this race was choosing Skullwoods or Turtle Rock when you not Skullwoods, Swamp or Turtle Rock when you sort of got down to that point of having the hammer and mitts and everything. And that's definitely what got Koi behind. He went ahead into Swamp and Ice. Other people had some problems getting to Hammer, and Yoinker's wife did a bunch of overworld stuff. So yeah, Turtle Rock was definitely the play to make, and you were the first one to get there.
Swamp seems like the trap of the Deep Street. It was very tentative to go to Swamp, but I decided to be risky and go to Turtle Rock.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, Turtle Rock is still 5 items. It's just a tough repeat, but a lot of runners make it, so... We're not alone in it for sure, and I'm sure off the stream as well, other runners have done it. But yeah, Swamp and Ice Palace, both with the flippers being available, was something we were looking at here for a long time.
I had to say, I had the mirror on the hand when I got the first bow. I think like 2 or 3 times to use the mirror or not. And I decided to don't use that in the mirror, and it was the best decision.
Yeah, we were definitely talking about that when you found that first bow of like, would you leave at this point? Yeah, and I think it was a good percentage play there since you had already finished most of Palace of Darkness. Right, there wasn't a whole lot left there, so yeah, I think you made a good decision. Of course, it worked out well, but I think it was also the right play in the abstract as well to stay in Turtle Rock there.
Oh man, I'm shaking.
Yeah, we were talking about that too. When you get up to the top of GT and no one else has finished yet, you're like, "Wait, am I winning? Is this happening right now?" So, yeah, well done.
Thank you.
So yeah, Yoinker's wife is currently pegged for 3rd on Restream with Koi doing Moldworm 2 right now. Say in the interim here, I want to say, well, okay, Big Toby is still looking for that Quake medallion, which is the 3rd thing today I've forgotten the location of.
Oh, it's in Turtle Rock like everything else.
Oh, is it? Quake?
Yeah, Laser Bridge.
Oh, that's right. Okay, so let me see. Quake, bow, ice rod. Yeah. Dang.
Ice rod and mimic.
Yeah, that's like close enough. Yeah, this is pretty nasty for I don't know, I guess what you'd call this standard routing. Koi here, trying to make as quick a work as Aga 2 as possible. Down he goes. We'll be shortly making some bacon. Yeah, not sure what Big Toby has left. It's just, you know, TR. I mean, there's 3 things in there, and we know he needs them all, so he's missing these 3 things. It's just I don't know how many other locations are remaining. But, you know, on the other side of things, I can understand not wanting to go into a dungeon that is completely linear. You have to fully repeat if, you know, what you need isn't in there.
Yeah, because it just feels like you're committing to absolutely the whole thing, right? You just have to do it all if you're going to go in there, which always feels bad when you make that play and it doesn't work out, but I don't know what other options he's got left at this point.
Yeah, and I'm waiting to see too, just because, you know, Toby's run a few races. I would have definitely ditched after that bow, I've decided. Just because I've seen enough of them in there, and I'm like, yeah, Armos Ice Rod, I've seen that too. But, you know, so hopefully for him, since at that point he'll still be missing 2 items, he stays as well. So yeah, that is a godly rate from this seed here, 148 for you, Diego. That's impressive.
And Koi getting the bad news about that bow that got left behind in the 2 checks he skipped on Laser Bridge.
Oh, yeah. I didn't even notice him doing that, but at this point, he's probably like, yeah, okay. If he didn't have tempered, it might hurt, but he'd still be doing it.
Nice fight.
Very nicely done from Koi there. Get those GGs in chat for him, as he will finish in 2nd place on the restream and 5th overall with an official time of 1:52:34.
Yeah, so let's see, 2nd, 3rd, and 4th, we're going to have Frenzy, who we've had on here before, putting in a 146.11, Milla 84, 149.46, and Taco, check this out, 1 second later. 149.47. And here we have Koi joining us after that one. Welcome, GG.
Yeah. I take it I was the only one stupid enough to think it was an Aga seed.
Nope.
No?
3 out of 4 did Aga.
Just Yoinker's wife.
And if it makes you feel any better, it was a logical Aga seed, because that glove in Zelda Cell was locked by the glove in Hype Cave, logically speaking.
Yeah, Eastern is a tough sell, especially for a hammer with no bow. And then I guess if you want to talk about Pod and TR, because yeah, I mean that's.
Well, what happened then? Everyone just went into Eastern?
And then the Youngers went into Eastern. Every people did other things. It's just
No, I mean, like, Diego finishing 10 minutes ago, but if he killed Aga, that he must have gone into Eastern, like, way before I did.
I think also skipping Swamp was the big thing. Several people on Restream went to TR before Swamp at that point.
I didn't like that play, man. Like, you're 3 items from go mode.
Yeah,
Well-
I am right there with you. I was here in chat because Yoinker's wife was the person who went to Eastern early and skipped Aga, and this whole time I was like, why isn't she going to Swamp? Why isn't she going to Swamp? And then Swamp just had absolutely nothing.
Nah, yeah, that's crazy. Cause like, I mean, Ice Rod go mode, sure, you just go to Crystal TR as soon as you don't have any more crystals to do. But 3 items, the odds are very much in your favor that one of those 3 is just going to be in Swamp, right? That's nuts.
Yeah, I know. I said the same thing a couple times. Like, no way all 3 things are in TR, right? On top of, well, the fact it's 4 if you count both bows. You know, maybe you skip one, but well, I mean the first one. So, yeah. When you say you've seen it all, don't say you've seen it all. So, we're joined now by Yoinker's wife, GG. Nice Eastern play. You are the only restream runner who did not do Aga 1, so good job.
Clown. I love you, Yoinker's wife.
I'm just going to assume that the mouth is moving, but the words aren't coming.
I keep forgetting I have push talk on for Discord. That's the problem.
It's all right. We're good at this.
GG's, thank you. I was bound and determined to not make it an Aga seed because I was like, hey, I still have all this stuff to check, and I'm going to check it before I actually go to Aga because I hate Aga Tower.
Yeah, you're probably not the only one in the race that did it, but on here you were. So, I mean, it's Eastern.
I think putting up Aga is always a reasonable play. Like I was just kidding, saying it's a clown play to go to Eastern. Like, it's Aga sucks, you know, it sucks. I think it was so much more likely that Aga was to play because killing Aga means I now have access to like 50 checks, and there's only 2 checks really in Eastern. So you know, you feel good about doing Aga in that situation and hopefully getting to skip Eastern entirely. And it's just hilarious that it was the hammer in there and Aga could have been skipped entirely.
Well, the first 3 chests in Eastern went big key, compass, map, and about that time I felt, well, crap, this was a bad play. And then the next thing I got was hammer, and I was like, oh, that makes me feel so much better.
It's funny though, even if I had done that and gone into Eastern, which I think for me it probably would have been the better option to do because I probably have like more experience than most of the people in the race as far as like execution and stuff. Like, so playing really conservatively would have been the better play. But even if I had done that and gotten the hammer and skipped Aga, I still would have full cleared Swamp and Ice. 100% I would have full cleared Swamp and Ice instead of going to Ice Rodless Turtle Rock with 3 items left for go mode.
Yeah, it was spicy for sure because, I mean, I mentioned this on here, but I've seen bows in TR, and sure enough, there it was. And Diego had a moment of like holding the mirror, like, well, do I want to look at this thing? And I would have left.
Really?
Even if I would have went up there.
I said it on my stream. I said, there's no way you leave. No way you leave.
Yeah,
like, you
I
stand to
was not
lose way
leaving.
more.
Well,
I was
I'm
not leaving.
not the best either.
Well, it's I mean, it's not like it's always guaranteed to be more items in Turtle Rock. It's just the risk, the amount of time you stand to lose is way higher than the amount you stand to gain by leaving.
Yeah, I think the other thought that went into that when I was doing it in my head was like I probably wouldn't have done pod by that point either.
No, you had to. Kane was in there.
I did.
Yeah,
Okay.
so
Yeah.
was Fire Rod. So
Yeah, well,
Yeah, it was a required double dip.
yeah,
so yeah.
I was just determined never to hit a pendant dungeon after Eastern, and I didn't.
Yeah, I mean, it worked out. Sometimes after you have 1 pendant dungeon, you think, well, what's the odds of 2? And then what's the odds of 3? And I don't have no idea what they are, but it worked out for you.
Yeah, my husband was watching in the other room, and he says, "You did really well, babe, but no offense, these guys are way better than you." And I'm like, thanks.
Thanks for the support.
Yeah, I mean, you see the things that, that I've seen from you before, just as far as little bits and habits and things like that. But it was a really well run race for you, I think. So yeah, GG's again. Here's my question. Here's just one question I have: is your husband Yoinker's husband, and then we don't actually know who Yoinker is?
No, my husband is Yoinker Man.
Okay.
He was a real big follower of Lethal Frag back in the day, and he was talking to Lethal Frag about me one night, and I wanted to dispute some of it. And so I just made up the name on the fly, and then after that I realized that I actually liked Twitch and got stuck with the name.
Yeah, when I started running, I changed mine like real quick, because I'm like, okay, I'm gonna actually probably do this for real. It wasn't good.
Well, thanks so much for the restream, you guys. Terrible seed. Worst seed I've ever played.
Yeah, it's not good.
I'm probably going to quit playing Rando forever because of this. That was something else.
You can blame me for
every seed, boy. Every seed.
Every other seed.
Every time I join RT and then dip out to do crew, it seems like this happens. But then again, yeah, you're right. It's still worst seed, and I've said that probably.
I think I cursed it. When I said, yeah, I volunteer for the restream, I cursed it to be a terrible seed.
Well, and then I think you had to do that because Trossi was asking, because I showed up in here. So
174 collection. Oh my god.
As long as it's everyone's fault but mine, that's all I want.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, thank you so much. I'm gonna go play more terrible seeds.
Nice night.
And in the meantime, Big Toby has hit go mode there as well.
Yeah, the go mode everybody loves, the one with Meyer to go, and I guess still pod too because of that bow. I mean, dang. Yeah, nobody was going to get out of that one today. You're in the northeast. Let's go to southwest. Let's go to this other corner. Let's go back to this. How about that early flute though?
I think other than my strange attraction to going up the mountain, I think I played it pretty well.
Oh no, it's not that strange at all. I was thinking because we knew nothing was up there by the point you got up there, but there's so much up there.
Yeah, but again, thank you for the restream, and y'all, let's go cheer on Big Toby.
Yeah. Toby's on a warpath. Toby's getting it done. Butter sword's out.
But thanks. I'm gonna step out.
Have a good night. GG's.
GG's.
Koi didn't cut. So we had to see Koi's wheel.
Koi's just running another one. You got to get right back on the horse.
It's kind of entertaining. So yeah, Big Toby's happy with it early, Big Key as well, and get on to getting on. I did hear right. Koi said he was going to take a break, right? That was at least 5 seconds, right?
Yeah, he took a break. He stretched his legs, rolled another seed, and now he's going back.
It's like when I played competitive games online. Whenever you have a bad game, you want to not end with a bad game. You get another bad game. I don't know. We'll get to see a preview anyway. Maybe.
Yeah, I was gonna say the way I just queue back up after a bad game is why I don't gamble, because you start throwing your ranking points after ranking points just straight down the drain. At least those don't cost me any money.
Well, not at least after you win the GT Big Key guessing game. It's an unauthorized seed. Not allowed. You can't have it. So anyway, Big Toby's headed to Vidi here. Probably going to whip out the silvers and make this quick. Although, you know what? I don't know. Yeah, okay. So I like to get the cape out, especially with the butter sword, and just start running around like a nutball, but... Oh, you got the cape. Okay, you did get the cape. See, that's me. One
Yeah,
eyeball
I also
still.
like the turn on the cape and slash your sword like a maniac, which is actually pretty fast, relatively speaking, if you're on Master Sword.
Yeah. I'm sorry, I was entertaining you. He didn't see the fifth eyeball. Maybe that was one of his that was in there, or both. I'm sorry, later I had to do that though. But that last eyeball just ran into his bow, so down goes Vidi, and what's left? Pod? Yeah, we gotta finish Pod up, it looks like, so. Get your bird out.
And of course, with those boots, that means Toby's already got everything he needs out of Pod, so we're just heading straight to Helma.
Yeah, it's just unfortunately the longest boss approach words in the game, I want to say. Unless you count GT itself. I don't like GT. It's a 5-minute run after you do it 800 times. You don't like it?
Yeah, there's a lot of things in this game that are fast if you're good, but it's not a problem I really have.
Yeah. Guess it could be a 3-minute run. I'd still not want to do it. Like, I found my key. I did my thing. Just can I be done now? We're talking about that over in SMZ3 where we play for 3 and 4 hours, and it's like we still gotta do GT.
Again, maybe it's just because I'm bad at Super Metroid, but I'd rather do GT than Turian any day.
Yeah, you know what? When half of that is a cutscene, I get your point. On the other hand, you can go take a leak. 3 hours, you know. So yeah, Toby, I guess didn't have that big key either. It does now. Does he have a key left? Yes. Okay, so off to beat on a bug. Is it a bug? Sort of. It's about to be ancient history, so.
Yeah, I guess since it's Helmasaur, I always think of it as being a dinosaur, but it's an awful lot like a scorpion.
Yeah. It's gonna go like beetle, but then it's a tail, so then it's scorpion, but then it's large. Yeah.
At least it has the correct number of eyes.
Yeah, it's like what, unlike everything else in this game, every other single thing. I don't know what the story with these statues are here either. I never really thought about it. Just one, but actually, you know, I never played a lot of Z1, but there's none of those in there, is there? To just start the whole shoot the eye with the arrow thing that Zelda's become known for.
I mean, there's a boss that you know, you shoot the eyeball with an arrow, but
Yeah, you know, maybe that counts because you know that's the whole puzzle of the thing. You know, you've seen it in an earlier game, so you're supposed to know here now what to do, kind of thing.
yeah, there's also the puzzle in Z1 where the guy says grumble, grumble, and you're supposed to know that means you bring him food, but
Oh yeah. Yeah, we were like rumble over here. I didn't know that. I'll be honest with you. I played it once, probably looked a bunch of stuff up.
Yeah, I think there were some localizations that did not translate very well that made that game a lot harder.
Yeah, the NES era was a different one for sure. So yeah, here's Helmasaur, and we are going with bombs. And I don't mind this. They do. They're better than a hammer. It's just a little laggy, and then sometimes it bounces right off his face. I don't know. I'd like to switch it up every now and then, get in here, but I'm too used to just doing this here now and just doing the hitbox thing. Lit that fuse. The bomb of a Helmasaur goes off. $20 in the pocket, and off to GT. Like how we have as our only real question mark today, that book. So,
I think Koi actually found that one in random rooms. So
it is down here. Okay, I was gonna say it has to be in GT. I just knew he was going left side, so then I kind of just like, all right, we'll just wait till he gets back.
at least the seed was generous with the weaponry. It always drives me crazy when I'm like, 170 checks into a seed, and I'm still on like Master Sword Silver list for Ganon.
Mm-hmm. No, I still remember the siege as bad as it was. Wherever Rando room, that room had swords 2 and 3 right next to each other. So in my mind, it was like, really, followed by 2 seconds later, oh, okay, well, fine. See if Toby does a Dark Magician or whatever and clears these out so you can get over that key. I don't know if you've ever walked out of DM room with less than 3 keys. He's going to do like Koi did and just check down the left here. I guess if you really want to go to Ether Tablet real quick after you find the key, just check it out.
Yeah, it might be an extra heart or two there.
Yeah.
Although if there were 2 hearts there, we gotta check this seed out. But
yeah, well, I think we do anyway, honestly. See, Toby can do that thing with every time I try that, it hits both things.
Yeah, my GT room strats are whatever seems to work. I gotta actually practice that at some point.
I need to start timing stuff. I don't know. I could look it up, but I like doing stuff myself. And because a lot of times I'll do rando remake this, and I don't have it yet. I might quit and do right side if I haven't already. Sometimes I feel like the teleporters take longer. I don't know. Because then if it's not there, then you can do basement or whatever. But
Yeah, this is where it's one of those coin flip things, right? Because at this point in the run, it's like, well, there are 4 checks at Ice Armos and 4 checks on the right side, so pretty much a toss-up between those two.
another one of the things that goes into it is that, if I'm going right side and I have 5 checks left as opposed to 9, I don't talk myself into tower. Or out of tower, I guess, the way I said that. Unfortunately, with everything being on the tracker, there is really nothing interesting that can be done here. Or if there's a 300 left, probably not. Well, maybe. Yeah, that's as bad as it can get, just about.
Ooh, looks like Toby's going for tile room.
I would, at this point.
This is just for everyone who guessed 22 for the GT guessing game.
I'm just hoping for not another 20. It's anything but 20 or arrows. Or bombs. Getting pickier as this goes on. Oh, man.
Yeah, there's an awful lot of those 20s in this game.
Yeah, I don't know. I thought we'd seen enough. Guess not. How many are there? I don't even know, actually.
I believe it's 28.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's like if GT had all the 20s, well, A, you couldn't finish the game, and B, I'd be happy. It could happen, Key Sanity. Never will, but it could.
If we just play enough games of Rando, it will happen eventually.
Yeah, what did they say there was, what's the seed number limit? Like 24 bits or 32? I forget. I think I heard billions, so.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Unfortunately for Toby, it had to be the absolute last chest. At which point I would probably go check the big chest. But,
That's alright, now you just get bragging rights of like the seed you finished with a 205 collection rate because it was so bad.
The first one I ran, I didn't know speed running was a thing. I was like, well, why is all these tech boxes not here? I honestly didn't. I got my 216, I got my 20 hearts, which I haven't seen ever since. Yeah. I haven't seen that. That's okay. I like that. Belts push everything up in here.
It's like a rando trick shot there, right? Just line them all up for one dash.
Link to the Past had a railgun. Or any gun. Or electricity.
Link to the Past, but with GoldenEye proximity mines. Let's make this happen.
Let me ask this just in chat and whoever. Am I the only one that played Breath of the Wild and I'm like, why is there a smartphone in Zelda? You had to do it. It's not electric, I guess. It's a nice case, though. If I could figure out how to make it, I would.
That always drove me crazy in Twilight Princess, right? When they, like, you know, digitized whatever coming out of the sky. It just felt very, like, Tron to me.
Yeah, it was a little bit of an odd game, that one. I remember distinctly, like, giving it a solid 7 my first playthrough, and my second playthrough, like, you know, I like this now. I don't know why I liked it better the second time. These robes just don't really want to give up their squatting rights. You ever seen when people would bonk across the pit after Torch 3 there? Make it look all swaggy to get Torch 4?
I do that from time to time. I
Yeah.
don't think it's faster, but it's fun.
Yeah, you know what? I realized that. That's why I was bringing it up, because I'm like, I realized at some point it's not faster. And then I got really sad. I was like, why is this so cool? So now I don't do it. And if I do it, it's just because a lot of times left and right aren't so great when I line up, so I might catch that fireball and get knocked off. That one on the right coming down. And if I'm reading that correctly, that chest actually is gonna help Big Toby out here if he misses any arrows on Ganon.
Yeah, it never hurts to have a couple spares.
I love getting hit with the orange ball, or I guess orange and blue. Same time as you send it back, as long as you get your hit, you know. Would have gotten on there if Laga wasn't clear across the room.
That was a nice double.
Getting accurate.
Toby was just standing right on top of the clone. I guess, do they not have a hitbox? I never really realized that.
You know, I was never brave enough to try it, but I guess not. I know I've got awful close a lot of times, and I just figured to just chalk it up to hitbox. So yeah, no, that's interesting. You know, sometimes I feel really bad whenever, it's not rando, okay, but you just replay an old game and then you learn something new and you've already played it like 20 times. And like, wait, how is that even possible? I played this game to death and back. Pretty sure I played Link to the Past more times than any other game right now, if you count this. And still learning things here on Speed Gaming Network.
Let's hope we're going to break out the cape there to get through phase 2.
Just be careful. I mean, it seems simple at this point, but sometimes these fire bats are snappy in phase 4. That would be 4 silver arrows into the side, front, and back of the pit. Get your GGs in chat for Big Toby 1982. It's going to put in an official time of 2:26:33. So, yeah, that was a seed. It was old beanstalk.
Yeah, that's definitely how Rando goes sometimes. Yeah, let's see, what do we have? We had the double dip of Dip Pod to get Kane to go get either one of your bows out of Turtle Rock. We had the Aga 1 fake out.
Yeah, that was a good one.
We had the almost completely useless flippers.
Yeah, I guess you had to have them for the hook shot, says game. It's just one of those things that can easily break. It's just somewhere in his 10 other checks or whatever, 10, 11, I want to say that you think there would be something, but...
Yep.
Alright, so at 1:30 on the East Coast, that's going to wrap up the ALTTP daily race for today. This has been Open 7-7. So tomorrow, it's going to be a little earlier, 2 o'clock Eastern again. We're going to have overworld glitches, so you want to see some stuff like we were talking about before, getting into TR and going between 2 dungeons that are nowhere near each other, things like that. Have a look. It'll be on Speed Gaming, this same channel, actually. So there is that. And to my knowledge, that is all we have at the moment for Link to the Past.
Yeah, just want to give one more shout out to our trackers, Akahaish and Professor Pixie. And of course, thank you to all of our runners for putting on a fun race for us to watch. And thank you, Scoopula, for joining me here in the booth.
Yeah, it's a good time. Thanks, Drosy, for the seed? Question mark? I cannot yet come up with a situation where I wouldn't have full cleared Swamp and Ice like a lot of other people, but I got to be here to talk about it, so that was the preferred way to go, I think. But yeah, he's been Cool Papa Bell, and I've been Scoopula, and you all been great. It's been a good night, and I hope you have a better one tomorrow, and the day after that, and the day after that. Have a good night.